Hello everybody, and welcome to the final evaluation for my Unit 7 of where I had to create an artist website following the production of my music video. My name is Jake Horton, and today I will be guiding you through the pre-production planning tasks of my website, followed by the production of my website using the Wix editing software, website creation software, followed by the post-production stage of where I received website feedback from my tutor Lindsay, and then an overall reflection of how I have performed in this unit, outlining my progress and what I need to develop further. So to begin, I started with the planning process where I had to create a website mood board where I had to find visual examples of professional websites off the internet, where I had to annotate each image I had found, outlining why I liked each image and what was good about them. Examples of these images included examples from tour date pages, gallery pages, home pages, uses of colour scheme and uses of fonts. Doing this developed my analytical and research skills, looking at different designs and styles which clearly signified the genre of the music and the purpose of the website. Doing this was really useful for me, helping me figure out what I needed to include in my website in order for it to stand out and to be a visually appealing product. And also develop my attention to detail, picking out the most important parts of each image that I had used, figuring out what will engage the audience and what impact it will have on them when they open up my website and browse through. Doing this task was a fairly easy process to do. Helped me think carefully of what I would like my website to look like and represent. Although this did take careful thought and consideration, as I had to ensure that these examples were appropriate as visual aids when creating my own website, basically acting as an inspiration of what I wanted to include in my own. This then moved on to the website flowchart task, where I had to create a diagram flowchart outlining each page that I will include on my website, which was followed then a further branch of going into more detail of what each page will include. For example, for a tour dates page, I outlined that within that page there will include an option to purchase tickets, followed by a location and details of where the performance gig will be based at. Doing this task was another fairly easy one to complete, showing that my development of my organisation skills, as I was clear and transparent of what my website was going to include before I intended to create it. This was then followed by the flat plan task, where I had to do a rough sketch of what each page would look like for my website. This developed my creative skills, as I had to carefully visualise what I wanted each page to look like, showing a clear representation of what each page was intended to look like. I did find this task a little bit more difficult than the previous two, as I had to think carefully of what the website was going to look like in each page, as each drawing was supposed to exactly reflect what it was going to look like when I eventually create it on the Wix software. I did enjoy drawing this, as it was fun to start visualising what it would eventually look like rather than just imagine it in my mind. This was then followed by the beginning of the production process for my website, where I had to take professional photographs and record videos for my website. To do this, I used my friend and fellow artist Sophie College, who also appeared in Unit 6 of my music video unit. Following the music video, I needed to create a website for my artist, which obviously she had to be the appropriate candidate to do so. This process was a joy to do, as I felt it was added a sense of personalisation and character to my website, perfectly signifying the genre of pop music and the fun and engaging personality that my artist Sophie has in herself. Doing this had required me to develop my flexibility and adaptability skills, organising with my friend of when she was best suited to do the production work, looking at her timetable in college hours of when she was best free to do so, or second that, or when she was free outside of college to do so. Doing this required us to think of different camera angles and different ways of style of presentation for each video and each photograph, which developed my creative skills as I had to carefully think of the way I wanted to present my artist to the audience in order for it to look professional and fun. This was then followed by doing an original photographs and videos task, where I had to create a PowerPoint presentation embedding all the photographs and videos I had just taken, all unedited and without any polishing. Doing this developed my communication skills, as I was honest and transparent of what the quality of my visual photographs and videos look like without any implementation of editing. Taking the photographs was a smooth process, but I was conscious that I hadn't taken enough in the original first phase of taking them, which then led me to decide that I needed to take more. Doing this required me to arrange another date with my artist Sophie in order to take the photographs and videos, which was fairly easy to do following her flexibility and willingness to help me. This then was followed by the proper in-depth process of the production of my website, where I created a new template for my artist website using Wix, a well-known, reputable website creation software. Overall, this process was challenging in some instances, as I struggled to use certain features such as the creation of albums and the tour date templates, which I did struggle to use at first, struggling how to implement certain features in order for my website to look the best it can be. Although I did eventually learn how to use this by carefully spending as much time as possible to independently figure out how to do this. This required research on the internet of how to do things, and also the assistance of my peers and tutors who were happy to help me. Doing this process was a development of my technical skills and also increased my confidence using the software, as I was becoming more and more familiar of using the software, especially since I had to use the software to create my Level 3 media website, which displayed all of my work for the whole academic year. Some aspects of creating this website were new to me and some were not. Obviously, with the tour dates and the uses of creation of albums and singles was a new thing to me, which obviously, as I previously outlined, I had to research in order to understand that and get assistance. Doing this developed my problem-solving skills, as I was asking for help from my peers and figuring out independently required great courage and commitment in order to amend the issues that I was facing on my website. I did enjoy some parts of the production process, but I also did find it quite stressful, as I was fearful that I was running out of time to create my website due to the problems that I faced. Throughout the time that I was creating my website, I was always mindful of the codes and conventions set out for websites, and also tried to follow the plans that I'd set out in my flowchart and my flat plan. Example of where planning was not followed was when I originally aimed to create a merchandise page for my website, which was shown off in my flowchart. This was abandoned as I realised that my time management skills were not the best, meaning I had less time to create my website, meaning I had to ditch my plans to create a merchandise page, which my tutor Lindsay also made clear that it was not necessary and did not affect the grade for the practical skills element of this unit. Throughout the time of creating my website, I was also reminded of the research I conducted, such as previously outlined, the codes and conventions for a website, and also the research into interactive websites, where I actually researched fellow professional music artist websites, but also the secondary research I conducted, which was rival sources of which outlined what makes a good website. Overall, as previously indicated, this production process took a lot longer than I thought it would have done. This was probably down to the weakness of my time management skills, which I aim to develop further in future units and potentially in the future when I create another website. After the production process for the website, this led to the post-production stage, where I was given feedback by my tutor Lindsay, which contained some positive and constructive feedback. This included the overall layout of my website, which she wished for me to readjust, and also the usage of repetition of trademark fonts, which I was not allowed, with only the home page allowing a particularly unique font, with different fonts needed in other pages of the website. Following this website feedback, develop my communication skills, as I needed to understand what I needed to do in order to improve the quality of my website, listening to the knowledge and experience of my tutor, who knew a lot in this field. And I also accepted that this feedback was essential in order for me to improve. Overall, for this unit, I've reflected that I have struggled in some parts of this unit, particularly the production process, but I do feel like my research skills were quite strong for this unit, feeling confident that I was aware of what I needed to do in order to create a good website, but actually putting it into practice was a lot different than I had imagined originally. Overall, I would say the skill I need to develop the most is my technical skills, particularly using the Wix software, which hopefully in future, by me doing further research and more experience with the software, will eventually create a much better and stronger and more powerful website for people to look at in the future. I hope you all enjoyed listening to this evaluation, and this was me, Jake Horton. Thank you.